Welcome back to part 2 of my visit to Extra Aircraft. In part 1, we saw how these amazing machines get built with a deep inside view of the factory. If you haven't seen that, then please go back and watch part 1. In part 2, you will see how these planes are operated and why they are one of the, if not the best aerobatic planes out there. If you remember, Marcus, one of Walter Extra's sons, gave us a very detailed tour with a lot of knowledge. But how did he get into the company?
Of course, I was always interested in technical stuff. So in the early days, I was more into karting, and after a while, I got also into aviation because I have, of course, the roots here, and found out that it's super interesting to do also aviation. So I always loved this technical and engines overall, and it's quite interesting. So then I started mechanical engineering, finished this degree, and of course then I got into the company, started also the pilot's license earlier, and started to fly and started to like it. As you know, first time when you fly by your own, it's like a complete different world. So if you just sit next to the pilot, it's something different if you fly by your own. So it's an amazing and incredible feeling. So after a while, I started to do aerobatics, and maybe you can agree, after you do your first loopings by your own, you get addicted to it. So of course I started to fly aerobatics then, started to fly competition, a lot of training. By now I do unlimited aerobatics.
And he does this in his brand new Extra SX. The SX is an improved version of the Extra 330 SC, and they just received the EASA type certificate last March. So in two ways you can call this a brand new aircraft. But before you're able to fly at this level, you need a good coach. Let me introduce you Romain Fall. Romain has around 7,000 hours on Extra airplanes, so if there is a person who teaches you how to fly an Extra, it's him. So how does aerobatic training work if you sit alone in the aircraft? First of all, Marcus and Romain go through the sequence on ground together. To be honest with you, it looks like a weird dance. And they don't just talk about it, they go through every second of the flight with the correct movements. Already here I was surprised how sharp Romain is as a coach. He saw mistakes of Marcus by just analyzing his movement, and this on the ground. After going through the sequence, it's time to get fuel and get ready. But of course, never forget the pre-flight check, which is pretty important when you're about to fly extreme maneuvers. Then it's time to jump in.
Das Wichtigste von allem.
Check the flight controls. Take off. Do some warm-up maneuvers to check the safety harness. Enter the aerobatic box. And start the sequence. This is extreme flying. And now imagine there is somebody constantly talking to you on the radio and giving you a hard time. Yep, that's Romain then. Trust me, this man sees everything. And I don't understand how he's able to do that. Just one example. He told Marcus to start a maneuver at 110 knots, and when he told him to start, Marcus had exactly 110 knots. He's able to see that from the ground, and I have no idea how he is doing that. No wonder that Extra sends you to Romain's flight school if you requested training. But let's go back into the air. Take a look at the maneuvers which Marcus is doing and how aggressive he's using the flight controls. What I could recognize from the ground was how fast the plane stops the movements, and this is a thing which Marcus likes about the Extra planes.
Okay, so most thing I like is the precise stops. So it's so easy to fly. It's unbelievable how easy to fly this thing is. And I think this is the big advantage why Extra wins in championships, because it's so easy to fly. The pilot has more time to think about his sequence and his flying, because the aircraft is just doing what it's supposed to do. So that's the thing I like the most.
I also want to show you the last maneuver of Marcus' sequence. He performs a rolling turn. That means that per 360 degrees roll, he turns the plane by 90 degrees. So if he performs 2 rolls, the heading should have changed 180 degrees. Which makes it even harder is that he starts the turn inverted. To get this figure done, you have to use all 3 flight controls simultaneously. This was really impressive to see. Waving with the wings means that the sequence is complete and that you come back for landing.
That was impressive.
It was cool. It was fun.
No shit, that was really impressive. Was good?
Yeah, it was good. I'm happy.
You have a very, very, how should I say? Streng coach.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very strict with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so even if there's like the smallest mistake, he will notice.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
That's good, so you can improve.
That's crazy,
Yeah,
how he sees it from the ground.
Yeah, so he even sees it when you heard it probably, if you are just a
Yeah.
little bit in the right rudder,
Yeah.
he sees it.
Yeah, that's
so then
crazy.
you notice, oh yeah, he's right.
And when he said the speed, like, you did it at 110, and you were like, it was exactly
Yeah,
110.
it was exactly 110, yeah.
And he just sees it, right?
Yeah, it's impressive, yeah.
That's good
He
to
has
have
a good
coach.
eye, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so aerobatics of course makes a lot of sense if you have a trainer on the ground.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how you improve your aerobatics for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, if you fly alone, but it's like in every sport. You need if you want to get better, you need a
coach,
trainer. Yeah.
Marcus did not even have the chance to get out of the plane before he received the first feedback from Romain. If you now wonder why Romain jumped into his flight suit, that's because he also took the Extra SX for a spin. Let me tell you one thing, watching Romain doing aerobatics was insane. But not only I was watching, even Walter Extra was out there giving Marcus feedback and watching Romain. That brought me to my next question. What is Extra's plan for the future?
So of course we want to increase products or make the products better here. That's always the goal. So we always find details that we can increase here to get a better aircraft, a better flying aircraft, a more stable aircraft, increase roll rates, make crispier stops. That's of course the goal. So I think we are pretty good in the market, and this is also where we want to stay. So in this, if you want to stay there, you have to improve yourself and work on yourself. So of course our niche is aerobatics, and this is where we want to stay also in the future.
And I know exactly where this mindset comes from. After Romain landed and turned off the engine, Walter took the most direct way to him and immediately asked him what they could do better. It was so beautiful to see the CEO and founder himself at 70 years being passionate but not 100% happy with his product. This shows that he really cares about his product. Some aircraft manufacturers could really learn from this. And one thing that proves this even more is that Eric also thinks the same.
I wish first of all that we grow when I see it on the position of after-sales support. Because when we are selling more and more airplanes in the future, I also want to have much better support and much bigger support. We started our own aftermarket store now, so that we can provide extremely fast service for our customers. We never expected to build so many airplanes. So of course the amount of people that need spare parts are much bigger now than 10 years ago. We are getting much better on that. 80% of every spare part is on stock now, and in the next few years I want to have more mechanics here that working in Germany and providing the best service in Germany for GA airplanes in general.
Now we switch back to production again. In part 1 we saw this extra LX which was almost ready for its maiden flight.
You always have to be careful about these things.
The engine run went well and it was time for the first flight of the serial number.
Exactly. So we are getting ready now for the maiden flight. So I will check the aircraft, of course, now. A little bit more careful than the usual pre-flight inspection. So check, oh, it's actually like a normal pre-flight inspection.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I jump in and then I do this procedure that we always do for maiden flights.
Yeah.
So we test like air speeds, temperatures, pressures or fuel flow, oil pressure, stall speeds, a spin test, and yeah, so.
So you have certain values where you have to be in there, plus
Exactly,
minus something?
Exactly.
Okay.
And yeah, nowadays it's super easy. So we have a Garmin G3X inside. So
Yeah.
I just take my iPhone, make a photo of the Garmin, and then I have all the values documented. It's quite easy.
That's good, yeah? So
Yeah.
you don't have to fly around with a checklist and pen and paper?
Exactly. So I can just make the photos, and
Yeah.
then later on in the office I can just write all the values down. It makes it much easier.
Yeah, I can believe.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to see an aircraft which has 0 hours.
Yeah. 0 hours, exactly.
So this plane got nothing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you will be the first one who takes this one in the
Yeah,
air now.
Exactly. I'm the first one who is in the books. Yeah, so this is an LX.
Yeah.
So this is a different type of aircraft with steel tube fuselages. So not as nice looking, not as fast as the NG. Of course, still
a
fantastic.
monster.
Still a monster,
Yeah.
yeah. So performance-wise, it's super nice, plus minus 10G as
Also.
all of our aircrafts.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, this one is a little bit more for like UPRT training
Yeah.
or something, because it's more like a working machine.
Yeah.
This NG is more elegant,
Yeah.
let's say it in this way. Yeah.
Yeah, I just took a look inside before you were here. It's raw.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's raw,
It's
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah,
Absolutely
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, just the stuff that you really need.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Ah.
So let's do the check.
I'll
And
let you
then-
do your thing.
Yeah, I start here and then I just let's see. Ja, guck jetzt mal ein bisschen genauer.
So before you leave, I have a question.
Yes.
I see Delta Echo X-Ray Tango Tango.
Yes.
That looks like a test call sign, right?
Exactly, that's the registration of the factory here. So every aircraft we produce will fly with this registration number, and so we do our test flights, check flights, whatever you need.
Yeah.
And after this we are going to do the registration for the customer then, wherever it goes.
Okay.
And this call sign goes to the next aircraft then.
Okay. And I assume this is then on a permit to fly, right?
Yeah, something like this, yeah.
Okay. And you only have this one call sign?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because we have several call signs.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's-
we are small.
Yeah.
We just do 2 aircrafts per month, so
Yeah.
one call sign is enough for us. Yeah. So yeah, and this expires then if I fly with the next aircraft. Then I cannot put this call sign again on
Okay.
this aircraft.
Okay.
So,
That is clear.
yeah.
Well then.
Let's go. Let's jump in.
And before Markus left, his father, Walter Extra, stopped by, and to be honest, he got me there for a moment.
This is quite an honor. So,
Oh,
hello, nice to meet you.
nice to meet you.
Uh,
Sorry, who are you?
my name, yeah, by now you know me. But no, it's
No,
really
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
that's good. It's really cool to see both of you here now. And
Well, we are here a lot, to be honest.
yeah, I think so, yeah.
I'm
By the
actually
name, I
here-
can see it.
I'm actually here for about 40 years now,
Yeah.
and I got nothing to do but building airplanes, and that's what I'm doing all day long.
Well, I would love to say this, but how did that start?
Well, I found myself in the position that I really wanted to do aerobatics,
Yeah.
unlimited aerobatics.
Yeah.
And at the time I was still studying, didn't have the funds to back this up, so I decided to build my airplane myself. And I mean, lucky me, it worked out okay.
Yeah.
Others saw the airplane, saw it fly, asked me if I could do it for them again,
Okay.
do it again, so I did it, and it turned into a business. And well,
Turned out quite well.
in all humbleness, I think by today we are world leader in aerobatic airplanes.
Absolutely.
And this guy is trying to hitting it hard, to hit it hard now.
Yeah, this is nice to see.
Yeah, it's
Also,
good.
both of your sons, really. It's amazing. The one who does the production, the other one the maintenance. You could be very proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to hold you up.
Yep.
This guy needs to work.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
before you leave, can you help me to grab my headset?
Where is it?
Over there.
That's
you.
always a detail, you know.
Okay.
Good. Well, then
All
you
right.
go.
See you guys.
Bye.
Fun.
Yeah, thanks.
I asked both Marcus and Eric a very personal question. How was it and how is it to be Walter Extra's son?
Yeah, cool. So he's a very awesome guy. We have a very good relationship since the beginning. He's a very great dad.
I didn't understand when I was younger what impact my dad had in the aviation and also in the aerobatic world. I realized that when I got older.
And of course he is giving us a lot here. I know that it's not normal to do aerobatics also in this age, and yeah, he always pushes me and also my brother, I guess, to the limits. And so he was never pushing us into the factory, so we could also do whatever we wanted to do. This, I think, also quite positive. So to let kids do whatever they want.
For me in the beginning flying was only a fast way from A to B. I never experienced how to fly myself, and I never realized how beautiful it is to fly. And when I got older, I didn't felt any pressure on my dad's side. He never involved us really to say you need to be in the factory, you need to do certain ways of flying. He always said do your own way. I did, for example, I studied architecture, and I was a sales guy for BMW, so I made nothing with aviation before, so he never pushed us here. But I'm realizing it more and more when I'm in the US and see how many people wants to have contact with my dad, and then talking to me about him, and then I'm realizing, wow, there's big impact. Yes, he did great stuff, but I will start my own stuff here. This is my story, and I don't try to get involved too much in that.
Yeah, but overall he's an amazing dad and very cool character and person. Of course, very huge shoes to fill there, but that's actually not my goal. So I just want to go my own path in my own way. So of course you get always a little bit compared to him, but that's fine. So just go your own way, and he helps a lot. So he gives very good advices, and you can learn quite a lot. Yeah, that's for sure.
It was very beautiful to hear what they had to say, and thank you guys for being honest. Then Marcus went for the Maiden Flight, and while he was flying, I got to meet the youngest extra fan out there. He performed all his checks, took pictures and videos of all the values as he said, performed the plane's first looping, checked that everything is working inverted as well, and came back after a successful first flight. You really got that extra family feeling while hanging around at the facility. And as you can see, everybody is welcome.
So, flies.
Flies, yeah. Fortunately, an unspectacular flight, so everything's fine. So flies super nice.
Yeah.
Just some smaller details that we're going to fix,
Yeah.
but overall, very nice. I like it.
Be. That's good.
I hope the customers are going to be happy,
I
but I'm
hope.
pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so too. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, the paint design is fantastic. Yeah, I love it.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Good.
all right.
And with the end of the Maiden Flight, we end part 2. In part 3, you will finally see how I felt while feeling some G-forces in the Extra NG. For that, I hope that you have enough patience to wait, and that we see each other in the last video of the Extra Aircraft series. Again, a big thank you to Marcus, Eric and Walter for giving me this opportunity to show how things are done behind the scenes at Extra Aircraft. As always, I hope you're doing good and see you in the next one. Bye guys.